This is Radar for On the Radar Entertainment Blog, coming with another edition of Movie Reviews and Observation number 11. Last week I got lucky, I got a pretty good amount of movies. This week I unfortunately did not. The first movie on my that I watched was the movie called Anna, the secret Russian double agent blah 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 movie where Helen Mirren plays a Russian woman, Luke Evans, who's Welsh, plays a Russian as well. And okay, so she's a Russian agent who's secretly a model, and she's got to take out assets, and she works for the Gulag, and she can't get out of it. Then there's the American aspect. They want her to betray her country and work for them. The movie was weird because it started off with a bunch of, American assets being killed by the Russians. I'm not going to get into the detail because you have to see for yourself. That's how it started. I'm like, where's this Anna person? Then it shows her being hired as a model, having a girlfriend as a good cover, living with her, yada, yada, yada. But the worst thing is this. Then it goes back like 5 years to before she worked for the government. Then it said 3 months or 4 months later after those 5 years. Then it goes a couple months later into that. Then somehow it gets to like present day. Then it goes back. Then once it goes back, it goes a couple months forward. Too much time jumping in this movie, where I'm not saying the movie has to be from beginning to end. But when you jump 5 years in the past, but then you bump only a couple months and then a couple more months and then years, and you're just confusing the hell out of people. So there was a lot of action and espionage and there was sex, but whoop-de-doo. It's definitely a thumbs down, especially when you watch this movie and you're out of it and you're confused and it's almost 2 hours. It's not worth your time. The next movie I watched was Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. And if you were a kid who watched all the original Scooby-Doo movies, including the original, you said to yourself, why in the world did they make this stupid movie? They supposedly caught all the bad guys, and they sold the Mystery Mobile, and they won some vacation, and it was a lure for them to go back to Zombie Island and solve a murder mystery, mystery, whatever it is, and it was a filmmaker. But of course, they realize it's a film and everything's not real and it's actors, but then there's still those cat people and there's still this treasure. And the only saving grace is a kid's movie with laughs and stupid jokes, and it was less than an hour and 20 minutes. It was more like an hour and 15 to 18 minutes. So you're not really wasting your time watching this movie, especially if you're watching this with little children and they don't know the difference between good and bad Scooby-Doo. They've never seen the original. They'll watch it, and obviously Fred Welker, who has been the voice of Fred in doing Scooby-Doo in the last, done Scooby-Doo, great. Grey Griffin, her doing the voices of Daphne, it sounded great. No offense to Kate McCucci, it did not really sound like a Velma. And Matthew Lillard might have been playing him in live action, but also didn't really buy it as well. So voice cast, not so great. No point in making a remake, simplot, and then just being stupid. So please don't waste your time watching this movie unless you are with kids. And then because, as I said, the library not being open, the streaming sites being done with, and then my boss giving me a site to watch movies, that site stopped working. And because it stopped working, I decided, well, I'm going to try the movies that I haven't been able to watch by Googling, can I watch this movie for free? And the next movie I watched was this horror film that they call Supernatural. I Trapped the Devil. That's what it was. Okay, the saving grace of this movie is it's listed as an hour and 22 minutes. But when a movie's an hour and 22 minutes, things got to be moving fast. Things got to be happening. It felt like the movie dragged on. It was closer to an hour and 40 to 2 hour movie than anything else. Stupidly, you have a brother and his girl and his wife come to visit his brother who lives in the middle of nowhere type of house. And they check on him, and he said, I trapped the devil. And they're like, you just trapped somebody, you got to let him go. And of course, when they try to let the person go, it is some sort of creature, and everybody dies. You saw that coming in right away from the movie. Super gory. Just a waste of your time, even when it's short, because it's dragging on like it's a long, long movie. And it's not scary. It's just stupid and a waste of everybody's time. So don't watch I Trapped the Devil either. Then, the next movie was called Deep Murder. It's a horror comedy. And basically, it's got a great amount of people you've heard of. It's got Jerry O'Connell. It's got Kate Aston from The League and Legion. It's got Christopher McDonald. He's a character actor that people have seen for a long time. They had Jerry Parker Kennedy, who last was playing Barry's daughter on The Flash. and Chris Redd from SNL and The Lonely Island with, with Andy Samberg. So it had a good amount of people in the movie, but it was politically, they're making fun of porno. So basically it was typical porno movie, people trying to have sex all the time. And they're in character and they're trying to have sex. And eventually, Jerry O'Connell's character, I'm going to say that he dies. And they realize that that one of them could be a murderer. Maybe the murderer is still in the house. They don't know what it is. And some weird detective comes in and some lady called Dr. Bunny, supposedly is a dumb blonde who's a scientist into the storm coming. There's no storm coming. The main character is some nerd whose mother is played by Katie Alston and his father's Christopher McDonald, and Jerry O'Connell is his uncle. And Chris Redd plays his bro, like his friend, and Jessica Parker Kennedy plays his babysitter. It's pretty stupid. I get the point that they're trying to make fun of pornos and will they continue to be porno characters if people are killing them and whatnot. And it was okay, but stupid. Got very stupid quickly. I know what they were trying to do. And yeah, don't watch Deep Murder. Despite having a talented cast and see what they were trying to do, just a waste of your time. Not really scary whatsoever. Just stupid. Then the next movie that I watched was Maiden. It was a documentary about the first all-women crew to in the world races in the late 1980s, early 1990s and stuff. And yeah, this woman basically was on ships. She wants to do it, and then she got her own team, and they're all proving against it. I'm like, wow. In the 80s, 90s, they didn't think women could sail boats. They don't have the ability to be on a sailboat and compete and stuff. So it was an okay movie. It was in the hour-and-a-half variety, not that long. But it just wasn't that exciting. I was hoping it might have been a biopic, because them actually seeing them out at sea. But it was okay. It's an average, documentary. It's here or there if you want to watch it or not. And I watched another documentary called Framing John DeLorean or it's a documentary and they don't have enough real clips, so they get Alec Baldwin to put all this makeup on, Marina Baccarin to play the man's third wife. They did Dean Winters to play, a drug dealer. They get actors to play FBI agents and informants, things like that. But it's a documentary because they're interviewing people in the GM industry, the car industry, all the businesses, all of his former business partners, his daughter and his son, all this thing. And it's a very interesting story. Young person becomes all in charge of all the General Motors and all the cars, making them lots of money. Marries a 19-year-old that marries a supermodel top of her game. Makes the DeLorean car that got famous from Back to the Future. This movie had drugs and drug cartel, FBI do the drug cartel to frame this guy for him illegal sales with money and things like that, and marrying supermodels and fast cars, espionage, CIs, building factories in countries just to make money, but this war-torn country. So as the son said in the movie, I don't want the movie ending with him just getting out of court the first time, because then he went back to court, served his time in prison, never had to make his car, blah, 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 blah. Now that, I don't know what's the point of wasting Alec Baldwin's time, Marina Baccarin's time, Dean Winters, and the rest of these people, betraying these people if you are not just going to actually just make a biopic that has all the things with drugs, bad guys, FBI agents, all this stuff. They just wasted their time. And if you want to learn more about it, you can, but an hour and 49 minutes is too much, even though it's a little less with credit, if it's not actually the real movie. Then the next movie I watched was a movie that I was like, I'll wait to watch. The 2-hour movie that starred Rooney Mara and Joaquin Phoenix and Chiwetel Ejiofor. And he plays the disciple Peter Chiwetel. I'm not trying to say, a black guy can't play him, but he's a white guy. And then you could say, well, all the people that lived in Nazareth weren't white or black, and that's fine by me. But yeah, Mary Magdalene is played by Rooney Mara, where she's a Jewish woman who wants to leave her village because she doesn't want to be forced to get married. She finds Jesus and they travel around, and Joaquin Phoenix plays Jesus, and people were calling her whores, and they're trying to and it was rumors about who she was. She was actually one of the disciples. She was there when everything happened, when he was resurrected, supposedly. So, it follows basically from the time she met Jesus till the time he dies. The Last Supper, Final Supper, all these things. But, 2-hour movie, moves very slow, being a Jewish person, I'm not really that interested in watching a movie about Jesus and Christianity. Joaquin Phoenix did a good job, so did Rooney Mara, but it's a thumbs down unless you really, really want to watch 2 hours of a movie about Mary Magdalene. Okay? So, thumbs down on Mary Magdalene, too long as a religious movie. Faye Mandalorian wasted time with filming scenes instead of actually making a full-length movie. Maiden was an okay documentary. And Deep Murder was, like, you get the point, but it was stupid and a waste of time. I thought that wasn't scary. It was just, should never been made. It was a horribly put together movie. Scooby-Doo Return of Tommy Allen should never been made. And Anna, all those time junks lose people's interest. And I really don't buy Luke Evans and Helen Mirren both being Russian. Maybe one, but not the other. Thanks for listening to another edition of On the Radar movie reviews and observation for On the Radar Entertainment Blog. I'm Radar Guys. Thanks for watching episode number 11. See you guys next time.